Getting live.
Welcome to McChat's fan commentary on McGTV, youtube.com/Mike McGTV. As always, Mike McG here with Max Andrews from Three Geeks Podcast. Again, we took a bit of a week off from Daredevil commentary, but we are back now with episode 8, Shadows in the Glass, where we get a little bit more about the dark origins of our favorite fat man, Wilson Fisk. And good golly, we'll get to it, but the opening is tense.
It's tense, yeah.
But
this is one of the I think one of the, I don't know, to say, like the foothold episodes of the series. I think this is what really grabbed people. It's a seriously intense episode. And this is another one of those times you're just like, wow, I can't even believe they went. It's like these guys are, just like they're just doing whatever they want. Like there's nothing. This is when you learn, like, there's nothing that they won't do. It's just like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. And I'm actually I'm probably gonna be looking back into this episode a lot more as I go on, because I'm actually trying to come up with a video, another McG top 10 type video, about like the top 10 villains in either comics or movies or TV shows where I'm totally on the villain side. And after watching this episode and kind of like where Fisk gets his beginnings, I'm like, yeah, he's messed up, but I'm just like, I kind of understand a little bit now. So without further ado, we'll get back into some Daredevil viewing here. And as always, you'll be syncing up with our commentary when we count down from 3, 2, 1. What'd they call him when he was a kid? Was it Willie or was it just Wilson?
I don't know. Did they ever actually say his name? His parents?
I don't know. Let's just say Willie, because I do remember that from, like, I think a Spider-Man cartoon. It was like, he's called Willie. So we'll go 3, 2, 1, Willie instead of play. And on Willie, you will press play and make sure you have your episode synced up to 0. Episode 8, Shadows in the Glass. All right. Y'all ready for this? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, Willie. Netflix.
Yeah. Oh, I still have sound. Oh no.
That's okay.
Copyright.
Well, it's good. I don't think you can copyright the sound of pages flipping. So Here we are. Okay. Opening up first off in a very unsettling scene, Wilson Fisk lying in bed. And gasping for air. But yeah.
Maybe he's got like some sort of sleep apnea also.
Yeah, maybe that is.
He needs to get that Vader mask thing.
Just has that lying next to him in bed.
Yeah.
And I think we do, in a way, we kind of get the origin for why he even likes this rabbit in a snowstorm painting too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's paramount to this episode as well. But again, I'll never understand why anyone wants to buy
a piece of white.
Yep, a piece of spackled white. Okay.
But it also kind of lets you know, like, he met Vanessa like in front of this painting, and it's like such a huge thing to him. So I think that's why, like, their relationship means so much to him. It's like a very symbolic thing. It's weird.
Yeah, the personal connection. And I do kind of like this. It's like, okay, even though he is a dude who takes Russians' heads off with car doors, he's also a bit of a home buddy. Got to admit, nothing like a couple of gangster-related deaths to make me in the mood for an omelet.
Got some scallions, a little bit of salt and pepper. Oh yeah, I bet there's some fancy cheese in there, huh?
I'm sure. I got to admit, yeah, this is probably close by Hell's Kitchen, so I'm always trying to pinpoint like where exactly this apartment is located. Now, what should he go with? Should he go with the black or the black?
Well, he could go with the gray.
Yeah. The dark gray, I guess.
Yeah, it's more
I was
about.
kind of hoping amidst all that stuff, he'd have like just a flat out like beige tweed blazer or something.
Oh man, it would have been nice. I don't know. I don't know. Do you want to see the white suit in here? You know, like he never puts it on, but you know, like he just has one.
Well, I mean, they take their liberties with the character design, obviously. Like, I don't remember the Kingpin ever really having this much of a focus on cufflinks.
No.
But they give a reason for it at least. And holy crap.
Man. Now you know already.
Like, that's straight up Twin Peaks stuff right there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just totally messed up. They do a really good job with this too.
Right from the get-go, you're like, what the hell is that all about?
You're like, is that what he sees all the time?
Jeez. But yeah, what you were saying about like the design of the character, how he typically, he has like the white blazer and everything like that, and the turtleneck and
yeah.
It's like, you know what? I'm sure eventually at some point they will get around to it. Like
I don't ever, you know, he doesn't have to put it on. Like that outfit is ridiculous. But it would be nice to see, like, you know, he had it.
As a good like Easter, like what they did with Jessica Jones in the Jewel costume, like it's just a throwaway like gag in a way.
Yeah.
Or what they do with the Daredevil here, it's like where he finally builds up into a costume. I'm sure when Frank Castle shows up in season 2, he's not going to be fully decked out with the skull shirt and everything.
I am so ready for season 2. It's, oh my goodness, we're close too. So
yeah, we're only like, what is it now, a month and a half away?
Yeah. So
yeah, that's going to be a busy week, man, because it's going to be season 2 binge watching and then Batman v Superman right after, I believe.
Yep, I'm down for that. That sounds like a good problem to have.
Us and our first world issues.
You know?
Now, here we are from the ramifications of his fight with Stick in the apartment. But at least he's got that paper bracelet.
Not the Heineken.
Mm.
Or the Goose Fraba or whatever that is.
Yeah, I think that was Goose Fraba.
I like it when they make up brands.
Oh, within shows?
Yeah.
Like where it's so close to actually being something, but it's not.
Yeah, like or like Tarantino's Red Apples.
Mm-hmm.
Ow.
Yeah, he got shellacked. And also, this is the episode where Matt's story starts to intersect even more so with what's going on with Karen and Foggy's investigations, right?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. This is like a lawyering kind of issue for them, as you know, it's more about Fisk. They're all like doing their paperwork and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and here's the thing. If one of my partners was, if I knew he was very adept at hearing, just because, not because he was a superhero, but because, you know, since he's blind, his other senses are in overdrive and compensating for that deprivation, I would never ever try to whisper anything. Or even like say anything in passing, like even within like vague earshot of him.
Then you have to like soundproof your office.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible.
Yeah, at this point they gotta be wondering, it's like, why does he keep coming in beat up, man?
Yeah, like how many doors can this guy run into before you're there?
Bats aren't blind.
So we're good. Nope.
Nope, guess not. Yeah. Yeah, and here we get into the whole she's gonna pursue it regardless of people trying to shut her up about it. And everyone telling her it's a bad idea.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's just like, come on, girl. You know, everyone, like, it can't be, if 10 out of 10 dentists are agreeing, then you know something's up. Like, maybe I should not go into this. But we're going to go into it anyway, because otherwise the show would kind of,
Scrunch to a halt. Yeah. And again, I just love these interactions between everybody because there's humor mixed in with drama and high stakes intensity going on. It's like they all deliver it very, very well.
Oh man, catching me watching again.
Yeah, no, I'm just getting sucked in now to the dialogue. It's like
it's really it's well written. Again, good job, fellas.
Top marks. I know at some point now with these commentaries, it's like, what haven't we said already that's like kissing the ass of this show? Let's start pointing out stuff we don't enjoy about it. Let's see. I don't like the way he's holding that pastry.
I don't like the way they don't give him a hockey stick.
I know that's our big change.org campaign. There are people out there right now saying Danny DeVito should be the voice of Pikachu in the next Pokemon. I say give Foggy a hockey stick.
Yes. Just one time even.
And a goalie's mask too. Or not a goalie's mask, but just give him
throw the helmet on him. Maybe they're doing something for charity.
Mm-hmm.
Like
that would be totally in character with Nelson and Murdoch. They would go out and like partake in like a charitable event.
Yeah.
Like it's renovating a certain part of the neighborhood, like a skate-a-thon or slapshot challenge.
Or something.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
All right,
Nobu. Now he doesn't. Not this episode, but next episode, we get to see Nobu in like full on glory.
Yeah, one of the big fights of the whole season is next episode.
And again, tying into the previous one about the black sky and about what's going on with possibly the hand.
I mean, I like that. Of course not, because I'm a man of honor. He talks to him like Japanese people talk to each other. Even though he's not speaking the language.
Yeah.
It's like, did you insult my family? No, I would never insult your family. I'm a man of honor.
Oh, and Wesley. Sometimes I'm sure Wesley, it crosses his mind to be like, please, just put me in charge of everything. I mean, which he kind of is anyways.
Yeah.
But it's like, seriously, just retire. I got this. Retire from whatever vague position you hold right now, Mr. Fisk. I got this. Yeah, like right there, his whole like, oh, geez.
I like how they don't translate either. That's cool. I enjoy when they play with the subtitles like that.
It's very much like what they did with like Firefly and things like that. Whenever they'd break into Chinese and be like swearing, and you just have to guess like what they said.
Well, no, I just think it's like the characters don't understand what he's like saying sometimes whenever it's like unintelligible. Sorry.
But that he's such a great reader of like humans in that sense that he's just like, oh, I get what he said. And a good percentage of it was filthy.
You kiss your mother with that mouth?
And then here we go. Period piece.
Oh, yeah.
Now, when I used to live in New York, when I get casting calls for stuff like this, like shot in the 60s, to make it look like it was in the 60s or 70s.
Yeah.
I guess this wouldn't even be that. It'd be like the 80s maybe. But like
the 70s.
Yeah, late 70s, I guess. Yeah, like this would be the kind of shoot I'd be up for, just because you get to really look the part and get costumed up.
Break out your disco shoes.
Now, this guy who plays his dad, he looks really familiar.
He was in The Wire.
Okay.
He's one of the stupid, like, little underlings.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. But no, like even then, like I wanted to say, like, what's that?
I think his name was Herc in that show. We should probably figure out his
I'll have to
actual
do,
name.
yeah, I'm gonna have to. Let me look up some stuff here because the thing is like, when I first saw this, I'm like, is he the bookie that Tobey Maguire mouths off to in the first Spider-Man? I was like,
He could be. Yeah, I think that might be him.
it
No.
looks. Maybe not. I think he doesn't have enough hair for it. But I was like thinking, like, let me just do some quick IMDbing here, and I'll
Yeah.
see.
Let's see who gets there first.
The sound you folks are now hearing, or the sound of me and Max typing.
Actually, okay, if you're gonna do it, I'll keep the commentary going.
I mean, I can still.
This guy, like the other reason you recognize this guy is because he's so good at playing that piece of shit asshole. Like he's got that down.
Dominic Lombardozzi.
There you go. That's a good handle. I mean, Lombardozzi.
I mean, I get the Italianness of it there, definitely.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Some. Yeah. First off, I remember tasting beer around that age too, and I didn't have nearly that bad a reaction to it.
No, that kid's a wuss.
It's a sign of things to come for you, Wilson. Yeah, you're right. He was on The Wire. He was Hawk. It's not the same dude from Spider-Man.
That would have been too good.
He was recently in Bridge of Spies, Boardwalk Empire, Blue Bloods.
Boardwalk Empire. I like that show too. He's in a lot of stuff.
He was in the breakout Colin Farrell hit Phone Booth.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
I actually did enjoy that movie.
Okay.
But
you know who directed it though, right?
Who was that?
Joel Schumacher.
Oh, nice. That makes a bunch of sense.
All right, here we are. And Vanessa never actually shows up in this episode, right? Or no, she shows up at the very, very end.
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah.
Is this the episode where he flips the table?
Huh.
Gal shows up.
Yes, he has a meeting with her, I believe, and things don't go quite as expected. But yeah. I love how there's just subtle changes to his delivery whenever he's talking to someone. Like when he's talking to Wesley, it's still very gruff, very low, but he's like more stern and direct. But then there's just a subtle change when he switches over to Vanessa.
Oh yeah, totally.
But it's not overly like sweet and gentle, like, oh, good night, Pookums.
I think that's as good night Pookums as he gets, you know?
Yeah.
He just like clicks over, wait.
Wait. All right, good night, Vanessa. I'm being affectionate. Yeah, because I know this is very former Union Allied conspirator heavy, because I think Owlsley shows up.
Well, yeah, I mean, like you're just getting more into the Kingpin's world, so I mean, it's to be expected.
I mean, which at this point, we've gotten into his world so far, but we haven't gotten into him.
Yeah,
so it's been mostly just about like the organization itself and the tension between all the different branches to begin with. But now we're actually getting into like why he's kind of got those tensions, those strained relationships, and it's got to do a lot with his issues of his ambition and trust.
Yeah, so yeah, here we are, some more lawyering. They find what Confederated Global,
Yeah, I
and
believe.
then that's like a major piece in any. It's like a linchpin company or whatever for some reason.
Yeah, yeah, and they're the ones like doing the whole tenement scam essentially on what's her name,
Right.
Elena.
Yeah, so that's what we find out here. Good job, fellas.
The like these scenes are to me like what whenever like you watch like a CSI show and they get into
Right.
well, here are the clues, here are the microscopic,
Yep. Oh, we found some of this kind of dirt on his boot. They're gonna only be found over there.
or like when House finally makes that Eureka deduction on House.
I never got into that show.
Well, I mean, it's there. You have to kind of. I just got into it for the character acting at that point because yeah, how many of these like unsolvable cases can there really have on a weekly basis?
Dude, man, when you're a super expert crackpot doctor like House, and you can find the weird ones, man. Anyway, I like this just because like here's another way where you just learn about how much about his business the Kingpin is. He's like,
and also just how morally bankrupt the people are that get involved with him.
oh yeah, and how morally bankrupt he is. Just like, how much is this gonna cost? Like, and not even he's like, yeah, he's not gonna name a number that I can't pay. So, why not? And then also, I can just have him killed.
And again, picking up another point because we have his partner who's out of commission due to a sniper.
I mean, yeah, Kingpin had him shot, his partner, and then he's gonna pay his partner to kill him. and it's not even like he has any grudge against this guy.
Nope. It's just, I mean, it's just everyone's just pawns essentially. They're just playthings to kind of position however he wants them to. And the fact of the matter is, like, both he and his partner were in Kingpin's pocket, and it's just like, yeah, this guy's no longer of any kind of tactical or,
he's more of a liability than he is an asset.
Yep, at
right
this
now.
point.
So done. Mark that number to 0.
I think that would always kind of be one of the things that would steer me away from organized crime. Would be not only the fact that it's like, oh, I could get caught, but also like if I just drop the ball in one particular fashion, or if I'm incapacitated in any way, I'm not going to be useful for long.
Yeah. And then when's your time? That's all that is. Yeah, that's also why I'm not a criminal.
So thank you, Daredevil, for keeping us on the straight path there.
Yep. In round figures. And I mean, like, to this guy's credit, he figures out a number because he walked out of there.
Yep. As soon as that elevator door opens, I'm just like, he picked a number.
Yeah, man. And like, I'm wondering like how much he said. That's the other thing.
$50.
Like, I hate that guy. I've always hated that guy.
It's like, you have to give me a number, man. I'll do it for free.
I'm gonna say $10,000 because you gotta get paid something. But yeah.
No, I gotta say, having worked on a TV show or two where they have these long like tracking shots, like where you start down at one end, they come back to the original starting position. Being background in that is a nightmare
because you gotta keep on doing what you're doing.
Yeah, you gotta keep the action going. If they ask you,
like actually having a conversation about whatever, but
yeah. And also, like, if they instruct you to like, okay, you're gonna pass back and forth this many times, it's like, shoot, man, I don't want to run into the dude. It's like, right. So it's like, hopefully this is paced well, and to make it look all natural, like stuff you would never even consider. Like, wow.
like you gotta become it's like, okay, I'm an extra, but I also have to be acting like I'd be doing whatever. If you're in a hospital, you gotta be doing hospital things.
Because let's put it this way: if I were in that hospital scene and I saw that dude coming out of the elevator with that look on his face, I'd be like, okay, what's that about? I mean, he's a good actor and all, but I'm just like, he's up to something.
Yep. Oh snap! You woke up. I thought you were supposed to.
And there's the Murdoch. Now I got to. We were kind of talking over, but I got to admit, that's one way to smuggle in a weapon is to hide it in your sandwich, even though it's just a hypodermic needle.
You know, if it's that small. I mean, that could have easily been a small knife.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I love the little the little subtle hints here because like Daredevil, up until this point, he hasn't been running around with any kind of nightstick. He just picks up and goes with whatever's at hand to him. But now he's actually carrying around those nightsticks, or what are they? Tonfas? No, they're not tonfas.
They're just like little sticks. I don't know what you call them, other than sticks. But
adding to his arsenal.
And that's another classic, little classic nod there. I was kind of hoping that they would go yellow costume when they got to the costume.
Yeah, that's true. That was his first costume, right?
Yeah.
Like he wasn't always in the red. He was, yeah.
But we'll take what we can get.
And here we go with what's his name?
Owsley?
The Gladiator.
Yes, the Gladiator. There's the saw blades.
Melvin Potter, right?
Yes.
That's his name, Melvin Potter. Who he was reimagined by Miller too, right? He was already an established Daredevil villain, but then Miller reinterpreted him.
Yes. Yeah. Miller really took Daredevil and kind of just pointed it in the direction. And that's kind of what everyone's been taking off of since then. It's just like, oh yeah, Daredevil can be cool, I guess. But Melvin Potter, he kind of got a little more depth from Frank Miller. Because otherwise he's just kind of like a ridiculous villain. I'm gonna throw some saw blades around. Whee!
But I like what they did with him in here. Where kid's half an idiot, but it's
half an idiot. It's like Rain Man, you know.
Yeah, definitely like Rain Man. Definitely. Yeah. I'm glad that we kind of it is like subtle foreshadowing, not only just for the next episode, because in the next episode, his arsenal plays into the Kingpin's well-being. But also, like, it builds up for what you're gearing towards in the final episode, too. With Daredevil. Uh-oh.
No. Bad news.
Here's the old deal. Life is hard enough. But having your own private Bob Gunton there to rag on you every time something goes wrong.
Just to, politely spell out everything that's going wrong.
And to top it all off, Andy Dufresne's getting on my nerves too. I got to get back to the prison now. Patch Adams is giving me a rough time.
Situation's being handled by some dude in a mask. Oh man.
Oh. Now what is Zuppa?
Cake of some sort? Italian cake?
Is that anything like I've always wanted to know what gabagool is, but
that is capicola ham.
And
if you've ever had any sort of capicola ham, you've had gabagool.
All right.
That is, I learned that working at an Italian meat market.
But I mean, is there any like special preparation for stuff like either Zuppa or gabagool?
Zuppa, it looks like takes some sort of baking. I'm assuming that there is a
like cake,
a cooking process of some sort. Capicola is just like freaking like a bologna or whatever processed kind of meat. I don't know how they make it, but it's just like a meat thing. It's better than bologna, but you know.
Aw, poor little Wilson just wants to have pride in his popper.
You know?
I like this too, because it's just like you kind of get why he's kind of fucked up now, thanks to this dad.
Yeah, well, yeah, his dad's not winning any prizes. And like he would have been messed up even if what happened didn't happen. That dad would have messed that kid up.
Yeah. He's like, ay, ay, ay.
I mean, like, what kind of guy gets upset over some kid knocking down his signs? Like, you should have taken him down when you lost.
Now, this guy's got a very Rocky Balboa-ish face.
With the kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to think this is where Rocky got his start, maybe. Beating up little Wilson Fisk before he took on Apollo Creed.
He went 3 rounds in the alley with Wilson Fisk's father.
Yeah. Damn. And I gotta say, yeah, you're right about the show. It sure loves its baseball bats.
Nobody gets a hockey stick in this show, man.
That would have been an opportune time, too, because you can slap shot those glass bottles.
Oh, yeah, man, totally. I think Fulton Reed was slap-shotting bottles when they, found him in the movie. I'm pretty sure he was doing something like that.
Yep.
So.
Got to show him you're a man.
Missed opportunities. You kick him while he's down like a man.
After this, we're going to drive him out to the fields and bury him.
Yeah. Maybe stab him a little bit.
And while we're at it, let's go get that guy who was talking about a shine box earlier.
I mean, he's got some good leg working. Like a little kid. You think the little chubby kid isn't going to be able to do that much damage, but he looked like he was getting some good kicks in at least.
Yeah, he's more physically able than the little kid who plays Little Matt. How weird would that have been if they'd just gotten that kid to play young Matt Murdock? Matt Murdock, at a very young age, started out as a bit of a porker.
Yeah.
But thanks to magic medical waste and heightened senses.
Oh, yeah. And small amounts of ninja training.
From a blind dude, he became a cut Charlie Cox looking.
And it's Groundhog Day.
Yep, pretty much. And also, I forgot to mention earlier, so thankful that Kingpin wears pajamas.
Yep. There's just some things you don't need to see.
Yeah, here we go. We're going to meet up with Madame Gao.
Yeah, Madame Gao's one of my favorites.
The lady who has the creepiest smile on television.
Yeah, man. You just don't know. Just like, what ancient Chinese secret are you holding, little lady?
Well, the problem is I have an Asian seafood market nearby, and there's a lady who looks exactly like her.
Oh, man. That's creepy.
And I'm just like, oh, God, it's Madame Gao.
Oh, man, dude. Yeah, I'd worry if I were you, too. That's not some forces to be messed with.
Well, I know I'm in trouble if she's like, come with me, and throws me a backpack. I'm like, uh-oh.
No.
No, I'm going to lose my eyesight, won't I?
Dude, you ever see it? I mean, like, come on. Those guys got, like, that one dude got shot in the head. All he was doing was sitting in a cabin.
Yeah, I know. That poor dude.
And then
just singing songs to himself.
The other one had a suicide bomb.
Yeah, that's right. Fisk's.
It's like, aside from getting your eyes gouged out, it's not a good profession to be. It's like, it's not a healthy workplace.
Yeah, who would have thought being a drug mule was not a good profession? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You mentioned a fool. You mentioned yeah, she you don't play a player.
Yeah, you know. She's like, please, son. I don't know if you knew, but I've been around.
Now that's something I like too with regards to the Wesley Fisk relationship is that even though Wesley probably hobnobs with all these higher ups on an equal, level and everything like that, he always defers to Fisk. Like when she's like saying, "You may go now," and he looks over like a little puppy. He's like,
Hey. She said, "Go, but if you want me to stay, I'll stay." Like I don't listen to her.
Yeah, and it's just like it's the implications here. Like when a creepy old lady like this is delivering some pretty harsh threats to your not only just your livelihood but your well-being, and you're like a 6 foot something 300-pound dude.
Dude,
Like that's what
she could just mess this dude up.
Yeah, well, that's what I love about well, first off, the way she characterizes this, this bit part essentially, but also like how he conveys the relationship there too, is because the reason I never got into Kingpin really in the comics is, yeah, I mentioned before, he just always seemed so two-dimensional, like mwahaha to me in the comics, even in like storylines. Probably like if I were maybe to read the Miller stuff a little bit more, maybe I would get more of this human side to him in the comics, but coming at him from just the general Marvel Universe and Spider-Man standpoint, he never really fascinated me as a villain because he was always just villainous. But here it's like he's shitting bricks here.
and it's like, yeah, he's not just doing things to be bad. He's like, I grew up here. I don't like how it is, and I want to change it. It's not necessarily an evil goal,
Mm-hmm.
Definitely how he goes about everything is messed up to the extreme, but it's not like he's just like, oh, and then I will have all the power to the city, and then the world will be mine.
But then, we got this.
Ah! Sometimes you got to flip shit,
And at that point, she's like, I'm still waiting for the elevator. I totally heard that. But yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's
like, you want to get thrown out this window, you just keep standing there.
But like that's the thing is like even more so with this episode than previous ones where he's just talked about like I want to better my community and everything like that. Here more so than ever you get that sense. You get why though.
Yeah.
Because of the fact he's had these lessons and morals literally and figuratively beat into him since he was a kid. Which again, why it's like, dude, I get that you're crazy, but I totally get why you're doing what you're doing. Which is why he'll probably be on he'll be probably on the lower end of my list whenever I come up with that list of villains whose side I'm totally on.
Yeah. Gotta go talk to Rigoletto.
And this is like the big turning point too. Or not, maybe not yet, but it's a scene like this, if not this exact scene where tables turn. Oh, here comes the belt. Oh.
Yeah. They did a good job of showing you without showing you.
Yeah, and this was really kind of like, again, got to give kudos to Marvel for taking risks. It's like the family brand of Marvel now with full-on spousal abuse. Jeez.
Yeah, for real. That was intense. And it's just like,
it just shows like
I like how they filmed that a lot.
Well, I mean, it just shows like the dichotomy between the movies and the TV show. Where in TV, I don't know, something about it being a Netflix show, grants a little bit more leeway, makes it a little bit more acceptable. not acceptable, but you're able to not be quite so shocked by it.
Yeah.
Whereas if we were to do a comics accurate Ant-Man movie with Hank Pym, holy crap.
Well, that's only really that Hank Pym being a wife beater is not like wasn't supposed to go down the way it did.
Well, not even that though, but like where you have a character with like deep psychological problems.
Yeah.
Like I'm not just limiting it to the fact, like he only like I think hit her once.
Yeah.
If you're going by the original Marvel, I know in the Ultimate stuff he did horrible shit to her, but in the Ultimate books, everyone was horrible except for Spider-Man to each other. But like Hank Pym, essentially, he wasn't just like, hey, I'm a Michael Douglas type character. He was like, dude, I'm messed up, man. I created an evil robot because I was delusional. Yeah, I created a separate personality because I was delusional and everything. It's just like, damn. Whereas here on Netflix, you can get, like I said, Wilson Fisk, who may not have had these issues before in the comics, but now he's like full on damaged. And yeah, I gotta admit, she looks beautiful in this scene.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know what she did different. This scene always like sticks out to me as being like, wow, she's really like attractive.
That little bastard.
Here we go, man. This is the point where I'm like, dude, this kid has a good long career in horror films if he can keep this crazy gaze. Who you calling fat, dude?
For real, dude. Like,
oh, smack a dack.
That's weird. That hole didn't used to be there.
And let's continue on with it.
Yeah, keep gay.
But like you said, it's like it's what's not shown. Holy crap! And he's just like repeating over and over like what he said.
Oh man,
Jesus.
Okay, here it is. This is my favorite part.
Oh right, yeah, she's got.
Oh man,
I forgot. Yeah, she's get the
there
it is. Madre.
I love that. It's just like it's okay, it's okay.
Get the saw. Oh man. Like Norman Bates ain't got shit on him. It's like
nope.
Yeah, and as a token of his memory, have his cufflinks.
Yeah, like the mom is so messed up.
Yeah, like that's
like you're like, all right, the dad was crazy, but this mom is messed up. Look at what she did.
Like, just to find out that your mom is just as ruthless as your dad, just doesn't show it all the time, except when it's like the most emotionally devastating.
Dude, and then again, like, what happened in this chick's life where she doesn't run screaming from this dude? I mean, call me a bad person, but if someone just got done telling me that they murdered their father and got away with it, I would just leave.
Now I'm just curious to see flashbacks of him on this farm.
Yeah, like what? Like, how did he get here? You know, because her family still wasn't rich. You know.
Mm-hmm. Damn straight. Again, it's scenes like this and his acting that really like hammer home the whole. I get it, dude.
Yeah.
if it'd been one of my bad days, and if my dad was that huge of an asshole, like, and I guess that is like the big appeal of a lot of Marvel villains too, is they're just as sympathetic as Marvel heroes at times.
Well, yeah, I mean, like the problem with DC is that they were the guys who were there at the beginning, and everything was very grand, and once they like all the characters are just gods walking on the earth, so it's like you got to make villains who can fight those people. So
Yeah.
so the villains are very grand. Marvel,
and it wasn't about relatability. It was about like
good
fantasy.
Yeah, just telling stories. So Marvel has always been, a little more scientific, a little more like down to earth. All the cities are like real cities. There's barely any made up cities in Marvel that, unless it's getting destroyed.
Right.
But yeah, so they have the benefit of kind of always being rooted in a little more in reality. So that lets you relate to. And because he's like, okay, well, this villain will just be a person, and then all this stuff happens. So he's obviously got to be messed up in some way.
And here we go. First time Daredevil and Ben Urich meet. Now, in the Marvel comics, Ben Urich goes on to have almost like a working relationship with Matt Murdock. And he knows.
Yeah, he knows.
He knows Matt's Daredevil. Yeah. Like Ben Urich is gets to figure out a lot of big secrets in the main Marvel universe. Like he figures out who Daredevil is. He figures out
Spider-Man
is. Yeah. Well, he works with Spider-Man, so it's like, yeah.
Yep. Ben Urich is like the greatest reporter of all time.
Way better than Lois Lane. Took her forever to figure out who her guy was.
And she had multiple regular interviews with him.
Yeah, in close proximity to this person. Which, yeah, like, let's put it this way. If you encountered Daredevil this many times, like, up close and so forth, like someone like Karen has, perhaps, or anything like that, you'd start to remember features like the jawline and everything like that. You'd be like, huh, I work with a guy who's got that much scruff, too.
Yeah.
Yep, I always like that about Ben Urich, is that he was kind of like their Commissioner Gordon of a lot of Marvel characters in a way. Like Commissioner Gordon can't be that dumb not to know who Batman is at this point, except in the Dark Knight movies. But but he doesn't let on that he knows, or he doesn't want to know. He doesn't want to unveil the whole mystery for him.
Well, no, it's like, he knows. He just he knows, and he knows that Batgirl is Batgirl. Like, that's the thing. I think he just won't ever say, because he knows what that city needs. I watched an interesting little thing on Gotham City, like how it evolved with the stories, and the only thing that's true about Gotham City is that there's crime in Gotham City. That is the one thing that will always remain.
I always like that Ben Urich kind of had that dynamic with characters, and that he knew, but you know what, you can trust him to keep a secret,
and he knows that they're doing the right thing, so he doesn't have to expose them, because obviously he's willing to expose anybody who's doing the wrong thing.
Yeah. Yep, Ben Urich was a confidant to a lot of good people.
You're a classy guy, fella.
Shame that
yeah.
I mean, we'll get to it when we get to it, but for the sake of the story, I get why it happens, but I'm like, dude, it would have been so cool to keep him on for a little bit longer.
Yep, I feel you on that. I really liked it. So hope that's not too much spoilers for
yeah. Guess what happens, folks. But yeah, it's just it's one of those things where you're like,
I accidentally spoiled Star Wars for somebody the other day. I feel terrible about it.
What, a good month after?
I know, but still, I told him that Han Solo died. It's terrible.
Oh, he's not wearing his pajamas this time.
Nope, because he's got a special lady friend.
And here's the whole deal. It's like, yeah, what they say about Kingpin too. It's like he might be kind of heavy set, but he's like solid muscle too, apparently, or he's supposed to be.
Supposed to be.
Nah, I kind of buy it. You're right with the Groundhog Day comparisons at times. I'm like I just saw this. So you gonna go into the bathtub and throw a toaster in with him?
Yep. Oh man, that movie is great.
But I like this too. It's like even though he should be like happy, maybe a modicum of him is happy right now, but it's like my perfect order.
Yeah.
That's my omelet.
What? Go make your own omelet.
Go make your own omelet, lady.
That was so great if you just snatched it back.
And then now she's picking out, like, man, this dude got whipped really quick.
like from
I mean, he was whipped beforehand, but
dressing them. Whose toothbrush does she use?
Oh, gee, I wonder. It would be kind of funny. Like, it'd be kind of funny if she did that whole, like, no, I get to pick the cufflinks, since she chooses, like, two separate ones that don't match. Like, one's a silver encrusted, like, diamond one, and the other one's, like, Porky Pig. He's just got, like, Porky Pig cufflinks, all of The Simpsons.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. This is, that's right. This ends on a rather big reveal. There we go. You can see it in the background already. Pepto-Bismol. I'm like, yeah, if I was always writing articles about the pink line and I had his living situation, yeah, I'd have Pepto-Bismol by my side all the time.
Wilson Fisk.
Now,
all beat up.
If you were just a casual news observer, I will say this. One thing I'd say would be like, that is the most sinister looking lineup of people I've ever seen at a press conference.
You know? Like, this could easily be the Enron guys or whatever.
Well, except for her. I guess she's okay.
Yeah, she looks like a nice lady.
But now she's like Lady Macbeth almost now. She's like the woman behind the power, essentially.
Yeah.
Or she is the power behind the man now. It's like
throne.
Because she's the one, if anything, it's like she listened to him being a funk, and she's like, step out of your funk.
And everyone's just like, crap.
Well, there goes our plan.
Yep. Right out the window.
They should just cut to, here's where you could have your Avengers guest appearances. Just cut to like Robert Downey Jr. reacting to it.
That would have been cool.
Like, it doesn't even have to be for the show. Like, just cut to some footage of him from when he was like, I don't know, watching his dad in Iron Man 2. Someone go out there on YouTube and make that for me. All of the Marvel Universe reacting to Wilson Fisk coming out as a good guy. Oh, no, Ben.
Ain't none of this mean nothing.
Oh, now, I hate to say it too, but that parallels the ending of the Daredevil movie too, where Ben Urich was hovering between saving or not saving his story.
Yeah, that's true.
God, why do I remember so much about that stupid?
Because you loved it.
Oh, but I will admit, Ben Affleck never had an awesome anger shot like this.
You love that movie so much.
Charlie Cox has rage actually in his performance. Ben Affleck had like a temper tantrum. But who knows? Yep. All right. So that was episode 8. Something about being in the shadows in the glass.
Shadows in the glass.
We'll probably be right back. We'll probably be right back really soon with the episode 9.
Yes.
All right. See you all very soon in McChat's fan commentary.